Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into Shirley Toulson's deeply moving poem, A Photograph. We're going to take what might look like a standard stanza-by-stanza textbook analysis and completely transform it. We're going on a profound journey through memory, mortality, and the raw depths of human emotion. Because, this isn't just about reading words on a page. It's about uncovering how a single, silent image can literally speak across decades. Let's get into it.
Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The central idea. 2. Stage 1, Childhood Beach. 3. Stage 2, Bittersweet Memories. 4. Stage 3, The Silent Loss. And 5. Poetic Devices and Meaning.
Section 1. The central idea. 3 stages in the passage of time. To really understand this poem, we have to recognize it as a heartfelt, heavy tribute to the poet's mother. Toulson uses one old photograph as an anchor to navigate the complex and honestly often painful passage of time. And she does this by dividing the narrative into 3 very distinct phases. First, we have the mother at around 12 years old on a childhood beach holiday. Then we jump forward 20 to 30 years to hear her nostalgic laughter as an adult. And finally, we land in the present, nearly 12 years after the mother's death, where the poet is grappling with her own grief.
Section 2, Stage 1, Childhood Beach.
Let's step into this first stage and turn the clock way back. We're entering a bright, sunny past where the poet's mother is just a young girl experiencing the pure joy of a seaside holiday. The opening lines introduce us to her enjoying this trip with 2 younger girl cousins. It's this precious depiction of a highly enjoyable, carefree moment from her childhood. The poet sets up a really nostalgic scene. She writes, "The cardboard shows me how it was when the 2 girl cousins went paddling. And she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. So her mother, the big girl, is standing right in the middle, securely holding her younger cousin's hands. We learn instantly that she was roughly 12 years old at this specific, frozen moment in time." I want to pause on a couple of specific words here because they instantly ground us in reality. Cardboard. Think about that. This isn't a digital file on a phone. It's a very old, physical, tangible object, stiff paperboard, that has somehow survived the years. Then there's paddling, which just means walking through shallow water in bare feet. Together, these words paint this incredibly vivid sensory picture of youth and innocence at the edge of the ocean.
Section 3, Stage 2, Bittersweet Memories.
We're shifting gears now into a period of bittersweet nostalgia. This is such a fascinating layer of the poem because we're essentially looking at a memory of a memory, right? It's experienced by the mother as an adult. Even 20 or 30 years later, she would look back at this exact snapshot and laugh. She'd chuckle at how she and her cousins, Betty and Dolly, were all dressed up for the beach by their parents. It's a moment of deep fondness for sure, but also a realization that her childhood is firmly, permanently in the past. The crucial turning point here is the stark, honestly breathtaking contrast the poet creates between these young girls and the environment around them. She says, "And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet." Let's unpack that because it is brilliant. On one side, we have transient human nature. It's the ever-changing lives and the sheer shortness of our stay on Earth, perfectly represented by those small, temporary feet. On the other side, the eternality of nature. The sea remains vast, ancient, and drastically unchanged, just washing over something so incredibly brief and fragile. It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? The narrative deepens immensely right here. Toulson writes, "The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter, both wry with the labored ease of loss." The poet realizes that while the beach trip was her mother's fond but lost past, her mother's joyful laughter has now become the poet's own lost past. There's this profound sense of mutual loss. Both women are left looking backward, trying to process something beautiful that is just forever gone. Section 4, Stage 3, The Silent Loss. We're pulled completely out of that warm nostalgia and dropped right into the slow, heavy reality of present-day grief. A heartbreaking parallel is revealed in the final stanza. Now she's been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance, there's nothing to say at all. It's silence, silence is. The mother has been dead for nearly 12 years, exactly matching the age of the vibrant young girl in the photograph. The painful gloom of this circumstance is so profound, so all-consuming, that it literally strips away the poet's ability to speak. She's left with absolutely nothing but a silence that silences everything else. Section 5, Poetic Devices and Meaning.
Having traversed this intense emotional journey through these three distinct stages of life and loss, let's look under the hood for a second. We need to examine the specific poetic tools Toulson used to build this emotional time machine. Because the mechanics of this poem, they are just as brilliant as its message. Understanding them is totally key to unlocking why a photograph hits so hard.
The poet relies on 5 distinct poetic devices: allusion, alliteration, transferred epithet, oxymoron, and personification. She weaves them in seamlessly. It's not just to sound poetic, it's to fundamentally emphasize these massive themes of memory, time, and loss. Let's look at a few standouts.
Take alliteration, for instance. That's the repetition of the initial letter of several words. Notice how the repetition in phrases like stood still to smile or terribly transient creates a very specific, deliberate rhythm. Actually, say terribly transient out loud. That harsh T sound literally forces you to slow down as you read it, making us truly feel the heavy weight of those fleeting temporary moments.
Then there's the transferred epithet, which I think brilliantly illustrates Toulson's genius. She applies the word transient, meaning temporary, specifically to the girl's physical feet washing in the eternal sea. She takes a massive philosophical concept and paints it into a single, relatable image. Those feet aren't just feet. They represent the complete lack of permanence in human life compared to the timeless ocean. And we absolutely can't forget the oxymoron. By clubbing together 2 completely opposite meanings with the phrase labored ease, the poet captures something deeply true about human grief. Think about it. Labored implies great difficulty and struggle, right? While ease implies comfort. Together, they perfectly articulate that complex, exhausting struggle of trying to comfortably hold on to memories that are constantly slipping away.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to reflect on that final, powerful use of personification, where its silence silences. The situation itself is giving the human quality of silence. It leaves us to ponder a profound question. How can the ultimate silence of a single cardboard photograph manage to speak volumes about the eternal nature of human grief? It reminds us that while our time here is terribly transient, the love and the grief we leave behind are eternal. Keep that in mind next time you're scrolling through old photos.